Hello, hello, hello. I am here ready to do our not Facebook Live, Instagram Live. God, my first proper Instagram Live that I'm doing here. And it is to kick off the In Conversation with series that I wanted to get going as soon as this new year started. And today I'm going to be speaking with Loulou Storey of the Styling Story, who is going to be guiding us through lockdown dating style. And I can see that she's joined. So let me see if I can add. Loulou, you might need to do the little request to join. Okay, I think I see it. Hey, can you hear me, Loulou? I'm just waiting for you to come through. Ah, yes. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
So good. So good to be here with
Nice to
you.
see you.
Yeah, I'm so glad we made this happen.
Yeah.
Right, we got this conversation going, I think, sort of early December time, and of course, even just a few weeks ago, the world was a different place because we were getting revved up and ready for Christmas. There was like, are we going to be able to be together? Are we not? There was possibility, there was confusion, and now here we are in lockdown 3.
I know.
Right?
Well,
Crazy,
a
absolutely
lot for people,
crazy.
and it is a lot for us to get our head around. But maybe we're feeling a bit more prepared than we were last time. I think we know how to look after ourselves that little bit better. We've become so much more resilient, and I think we give ourselves a lot of credit for that. And it sounds cheesy, and everyone said it, but we are stronger than we realize. And I think that hopefully by the end of tonight, people can learn that what they've got in their wardrobe could be a really, well, is, I believe, a really positive and helpful tool to getting through this lockdown. Clothes can be our friend. They can be the thing that helps us with our kind of our belief in ourselves, our confidence, just that kind of, when everything's feeling a bit tired and feeling a bit heavy and lethargic, it can just change your energy and change your mood.
Absolutely. I mean, I just posted that picture of me in a full outfit for the first time in.
Well, you inspired me. I wasn't going to, but I went and put my.
Yeah. It's working. The inspiration is working for us already. I love it.
Okay, I can do it too. This is maybe just before we dive into everything, just the power of actually dating right now is just an amazing way to keep checking in with ourselves. And, I think it's an amazing way, even if you're just doing it for yourself. It's a wonderful way just to kind of, how fun it is to put some nice clothes on. It's a great.
Absolutely. And that's such a huge sort of part of why fearless dating exists. The whole sort of premise behind fearless dating is that first and foremost, it's your journey. No one else's, it's yours.
Yeah.
You go on this fearless dating journey because you want to discover more about yourself. You want to become more inside of that. And as a result, a bonus is that you get to meet other people and connect with other people along the way as
Yeah.
well. But first and foremost, you connect
Oh,
and you date yourself.
your sound is a little bit.
Let me see.
Ringing.
Hang on. Let me.
I don't know whether what it is, but I'd love to hear you just that little bit clearer. Gone. Oh no.
Can you hear me?
Yes, that's so much better. Oh my god, that's so much
Hello.
better. Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, it's the brand new headphones weren't doing it for me. Yes, awesome. So yeah, I'm not sure how much you heard there, but yeah, I love what you've shared about the fun of dating right now when things are looking a little bit uncertain. We're not getting to go out there into the world and meet people face to face as we're used to doing. But the ethos of fearless dating is that first and foremost, it's your journey. It's about meeting yourself, connecting with yourself, becoming more inside of your dating journey, however that goes. And the bonus is that you get to meet other people, connect other people as well.
You don't.
So
I mean, now you don't have to go anywhere.
Exactly.
And you probably don't have to pay the same expensive like restaurant bills and all that kind of stuff that you'd have to. And you can just experiment. You can have a couple of dates in one night and not feel too guilty about it.
Exactly, right? Go all out.
I love it. I think it's interesting. I think I've coached a lot, because obviously the style coaching that I do goes beyond just, you know, what you wear. It's all about our confidence. And so many of the women that and men that I've coached actually in the last year have all been looking for love, and them getting their confidence in their style sorted. And as you know, Artie, the thing I'm really passionate about is, we've heard over and over again about first impressions counting, and there is no doubt it matters. It really does matter what people see and the impression you make on them. But the one I'm really interested in is the impression you make on yourself. Like when you look in the mirror, what's the critical voice? What's the voice saying in your head? How do you actually feel about yourself? And there's no better time when you're out dating, there's no better time to kind of practice that and really focus take the focus from what do I think they're going to like to, okay, well, what version of me do I want to project? And actually, how do I want to make it fun? So even if the date doesn't, you know, because I think I'm sure you're completely the expert in this area, but there's so much pressure when you go out dating that, you know, is this going to be it? And I've had so many other dates, and why, you know, when is it going to happen? But if you actually, like, going back to what you're saying, you make it the journey, you make it about the experience of just, oh, well, let's have an adventure with this person and let's see if that works. And actually, clothes can be part of that fun that's involved in it, and you're doing it for yourself. So if all else fails, at least you walk away going, well, I felt great in my clothes.
100%, absolutely. I think that's a really big thing there, that regardless of what the end result may be,
yeah,
as long as you're having fun, as long as you're enjoying yourself, as long as you're making the most of like, hey, I'm getting to dress up, I'm getting to hang out with this person, and I'm having a great time regardless, you know. Yeah. And that's so important. So I'm so glad that we're having this conversation. It's so timely.
Yes.
So timely. And there's so much that I want us to dive in together. I'm so excited by that rail behind you. I did my own makeshift little clothes area where it's all hanging out there. Not as professional as yours.
This is, everyone will know that's worked with me and I bang on about it, is you need to go and get yourself some velvet hangers.
Oh yes.
They're so affordable. They're like £15 for a box of 50. And you will find that you will immediately elevate your wardrobe just by having a nice non-slip hanger, nice and slim, so you can fit lots of clothes in there. You double your space. It just makes everything sit at the same height and just looks so much more uniform. So I would not that it's got anything, but it makes dressing a lot more easy. So.
Exactly. I mean, the fact that it's non-slip, so when you pull out your favorite outfit, it doesn't all fall apart and all over the place. That's a bonus. So awesome. I can't wait for us to
love your top, by the way.
Thank you. It's a top from I think it's a Dutch brand, Scotch and Soda.
Oh, I love Scotch and Soda. Yeah.
So yeah, I got that. I actually got this in lockdown because I do a lot of these videos, and I love clothes that just cheer me up and that reflect my personality, and I thought this very much did. And we're going to dive into obviously what clothes say about us and what they can communicate about us. And I think I would happily wear this on a date, because I think it just explains to the person who I am before I even open my mouth.
Yeah, and the colors just are really gorgeous on you, especially that that lovely mustard. It really works for your skin tone and coloring. So yes.
Awesome, thank you. I'm so glad it's got your seal of approval. That means everything. Thank you so much. So let's dive into, first and foremost, who you are, what you do, and more importantly, why you do what you do. I think that'd be wonderful just to hear.
Yeah, so I am Loulou Storey and I am a style coach. And I am really passionate about, like I said, making sure we're not just talking about first impressions, that we're talking about the impression you make on yourself, especially as women, but really for all of us. We change as we go through our lives, and it's really important that our clothes kind of stay along with us and actually maybe stay ahead of us, so that they are something that we can constantly be growing into, to help us kind of live out the life that we really dream of. And so often our clothes are telling an old story about who we are. And I'm really passionate about the kind of the toolbox that we have, that if we were to open our wardrobe and use the tools, the clothes that are in there, to help us lift our mood, to shift how we feel about our bodies, to use it as a way to just give us that boost every day. It is just the most incredible toolbox, and it has been such an amazing thing for me in my life. So I suffered with postnatal depression and anxiety about 5 years ago when I had my daughter, and we had done a lot. We'd moved our lives, we had had a child, started a new business, and I'd been working in the styling industry, well, the retail industry I should say, for about 15 years previous to that. And I always had dreams of starting my business. And when I had a daughter, I just thought I'd pick up where I left off, and I'd put on the clothes I used to own, and I would, go out and start the new business. And I looked in the mirror, and I was 4.5 stone heavier than I was. I was deeply ashamed of my body, despite, the amazing job it had done. And I just looked at the mirror and I was like, who am I? I don't know who I am anymore. And that moment of feeling so stuck, and just feeling as I say, like a lot of shame around, well, how am I now meant to style other people if I can't do this for myself? And that was when I realized that we can all go through that loss of identity. We can all have that moment of, oh, who am I? I'm stuck here. So I started to really, I've always loved psychology, and I love the whole around identity. I studied at London College of Fashion, and one of my favorite, bits of the course, my degree, was we did all around kind of tribal dressing and identity, and not tribal as in like the mods and the rockers and all that stuff, like.
Love that clarification.
And I started having life coaching myself, and I realized the mindset shift I could make on just 30 seconds a day. So, the pop of a perfect lipstick, on can just really make you go, oh no, okay, yeah, I feel a little bit better. And even just that 1% shift can just suddenly make you feel a bit more in control of your life. And then that was when I kind of started realizing that my love of clothes was going to be my freedom, my way out, that it could be this way of paving my new path. And obviously, as a new mom on maternity, just starting out, I didn't have loads of money. So I also had to be quite creative and also be quite sensible about what I bought, and making sure that I started to fall in love and learn how to fall in love with clothes again. And this is the thing that people don't talk about, is that they speak, you hear stylists and you hear influencers, and I'm not bashing them. They are phenomenal at how much they inspire us, and we're so lucky that we can get so much inspiration. But they often talk about just wear what you love, just wear what you love. But I was like, well, what if you don't know what you love? Like, what if you've lost that sense of who you are, that you're kind of like, I don't even know where to begin. I don't know how to step into the shops. I don't know what to order. I've lost that sense of who I am. And that was when I started to find the tools and the coaching tools to help people discover who they were again through clothes. And it is an amazing journey of discovery. And for me, over the last 5 years, it has taken me all over the world with clients. Been to New York, been twice, been to Paris. I have also had the amazing opportunities of things like being part of Tresemé's campaign, being on ITV, regular speaking at BBC, in the Telegraph, in psychologies. Like, I've had these incredible opportunities, plus obviously the phenomenal clients and the range of clients that I get to work with. And as I say, it's really that supporting them in that journey of self-discovery. Using clothes is an amazing way to just accept and celebrate ourselves, and just set a bit more of a path, get that strategy for, right, well, that's where I want to be this time next year, at the end of this year, that's where I want to be. I had a really interesting client that signed up today who was talking about how she was so intense with her work, that her big aim for 2021 was all about having more of a work-life balance, and actually diving into her wardrobe and getting dressed again was part of that balance. You know, it was part of that having fun again and connecting with herself. And often I get a lot of very ambitious women that come my way who get so lost in their work and caught up in the work that they kind of, you know, raise their head above the parapet, and they're just like, oh, okay, I'm really successful in this area, but I don't know how to get dressed. And the other thing is, it's often a skill that people haven't been taught. You know, I was very fortunate that I had a mum and a gran who, you know, had a very keen eye. They could find an amazing item that was perfect for them in a, you know, in a big shop and know exactly what suited them. And so I was kind of taught the importance of it, whereas a lot of people aren't taught the skills, and then I think that they feel ashamed that they don't know how to actually dress themselves. But it's a bit like cooking. You know, if you've not been around people that have cooked, or you weren't encouraged to learn it, then how would you know how to put a meal together? Same with an
Right, absolutely. It's like giving yourself the exposure to what it is that you want to become more expert at, and sometimes you need that extra bit of guidance, right?
Yeah.
You need to be taught, well, this is in the case of clothing, right? These are warm tones, these are cool tones, this is a silhouette, whatever it is, and actually be able to understand that stuff. I try. I do try, because I think our journeys are similar in regards to, for me, I had a very horrible relationship with my body. It was very fractured from a very young age up until sort of my late 20s, when I started to really try to rectify that. And I used to admire clothing on other people. My mum's side of the family, they're all in tailoring. My grandfather used to design clothes for Marks and Spencer when we're talking back in like the 40s and around that time, you know, but it didn't feel like it translated down to me. And I love clothes on other people. I would admire them, but I never in a million years thought that I would be able to wear these clothes, that I would look good in any of these things, because I didn't respect my body enough. And that journey that you went on with, you know, having your child, and then even though your body went through such a miraculous thing, produced another human being, right, you still felt like I'm not quite there yet.
No, and I think also, you know, one of the things I've always found it, if I'm completely honest, a lot easier to dress other people's body shape than my own.
Right.
And I have got a very short waist. I've carried my weight around my kind of stomach and my hips. And so it does make it difficult. But what I've learned from styling so many other people is that, well, there's two things. I've had to really, really learn how to dress myself. Like, as your body fluctuates and changes, you get to know it and how to kind of manipulate it and get the proportions right. And also, I think a big part of it is letting go of the things you can't wear. There is very, very few people that I have met that I could literally put anything on them. And we all have to be mindful of, you know, of our proportions, of what flatters and what doesn't. And when I say flatters, you know, you are the one that decides on whether it flatters or not. I mean, obviously, aesthetically, there is a principle, a kind of science in it, but we're in a world now that actually you get to be the one that chooses whether you love it or don't. But the thing is that it's about, where's your focus? You have to be, it's a bit like right now in the pandemic. And this is why I think style is such an incredible tool for us in life. You know, right now in the pandemic, we can only control what we can control. And that is our immediate surroundings. That is, you know, how we choose to look after ourselves, the food we eat, you know, how we move our bodies. You know, there's a limited amount of things we can do right now, but those limited things are really important for us to focus on and control what we can control. And it's the same with when we get dressed. You know, I can't wear every bit of clothing that's in a shop, and neither can you, Artie, and neither can Jane down the road. It's like we all have to focus on the things that we can do really well. And I've had some women who've come to me, you know, maybe had real, you know, terrible kind of foot issues, and they've been so upset that they can't wear high heels and that kind of thing. And you just got to be like, well, you've got to become the queen of trainers. and be okay, and like completely embrace and celebrate, I suppose, your limitations.
Yes.
And you know, I am never going to be the girl that wears a lot of dresses. I just can't do it until I get to a point when I can afford my own tailor all the time, who can custom make me my dresses, which I will get to.
Yeah, and I think it's that experimentation, being willing firstly and foremost to experiment with this stuff to find out what does suit me, what doesn't suit me, what do I enjoy being in, what do I not enjoy being in. Because I'm similar to you, I'm not really a dress person, because my discovery with my wardrobe was very much, actually, I want a capsule wardrobe. I really appreciate that concept. And for me, in my capsule, dresses just didn't quite work, because they either fell into that dressy category or casual category, and I couldn't really find that many that worked for both ways for me. And I really want my wardrobe to work as hard as it possibly can.
Have you tried? I assume are you about 5'8"?
No, not at all. I'm 5'3", 5'4", something like that.
You have a tall person, kind of.
My dad is very tall, so maybe I carry that energy.
All right, you. Okay, you're 5'3".
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Have you tried kind of almost like the shirt you've got on, but in like a shirt dress with buttons down the front?
I had a shirt dress once. I didn't really enjoy it, but that was the older Artie that wasn't really enjoying her body as much. So I'd be up for trying that again.
They're quite, especially a one that's a full button. You know, you could layer it with like a really nice pair of slim kind of jeans or leggings underneath. You could even do a nice little belt around the waist and have it all unbuttoned but still do the belt. I don't know, I just feel like you could casualize it quite a bit, something like that.
I'm just taking this all in. Whatever you say, I'm going to give it a go. I'm noting down. I'll play. I'm definitely so much more up for experimentation, and I think that's one thing that I'd love for us to share with everyone that's joining us here tonight. Just be willing to experiment, and what a time to experiment as well, in the safety of your own home.
This is it. We can have so much fun right now, and I think another big part of this is, and it's so often the case, is just give yourself permission. You know, I think unfortunately as women especially, we've been brought up that if you kind of like clothes, then it's a bit frivolous, and that, you know, and all I can say is that the impact is just, it's so not vacuous. It really is deep. It really is something that if you can, you know, find clothes that make you feel fantastic, you are going to be able to just go out and just rock it in whatever you want to do. You know, whether it's dating, business, making a new friendship circle, starting a new, you know, activity. You know, you're just going to be able to walk in there with your head held high and not have that self-consciousness hanging over you. You can just pop that to one side.
And I like what you said earlier when you were sharing your story with us of how for you clothing was your path to sort of freedom and, you know, expression. And I think, you know, sometimes we don't need to worry about the vehicle through which our transformation happens. Sometimes it is presented to us, and for you, you know, that was very much style and clothing, and that can be the door that just opened you to so much more, right?
So much. I'm being okay about people seeing me. A massive part of the coaching I do with a lot of women is that, you know, we can do all these. This is why I'm a coach rather than just a stylist, is that, you know, it's often like, right, we've created all these great outfits. Okay, how often have you worn them outside? You know?
Yeah.
So this is why we're saying it's probably a good time right now, because you could go out and there's not many people looking. You can practice in your outfits before. But that's a big part of it. People can get quite self-conscious about, oh my goodness, are people going to be looking at me and being like, who does she think she is? But a big part of that is often saying, well, you know what, that is often reflecting in them something that they, you know, part of their journey they've not managed to do yet, and they've not managed to style them. You know, that it's triggering a little self-consciousness because they know it's something that they maybe need to sort out. But we have to become okay about being seen as women.
100%, 100%. I think.
And men.
Exactly, right.
It's not just holy women.
Yeah, exactly. It's so, I mean, we both work with men and women through the work that we do, and it's that there is that fear around being seen, I think one thing that really underpins the fearless dating work is and the coaching work that I get to do is that it's about visibility.
Yeah.
Being visible, like
I'm
showing to the world who you are. And again, something that you said that was really interesting about not knowing how, like, people's advice to you is just wear stuff you love, right? The influencer just like, just wear what you love. But as you said, you don't know what that is to begin with. And it's very similar for dating as well. People's advice to you, the default is be yourself. Be yourself. And you're like, well, who am I? I mean, the myself that I'm being doesn't feel very comfortable in these situations. The me that I'm being isn't getting me the results that I want, which is to be in a relationship, right?
Yeah.
So how am I being myself? And this journey that we take ourselves on is about discovery through visibility, that willingness to put ourselves out there in the world, be seen, have some kind of feedback from ourselves and the world around us to actually then decipher and discern who we want to be more of.
And I'm sure you do a lot around, you know, being in control of your boundaries and what is like, you know, behavior you're comfortable with, behavior you're not. And, you know, actually, I've never thought of it before, but you just saying that made me think, well, you know, kind of, I suppose that is where you have the control with your clothes. You know, being very mindful of the energy you bring to the room. So yes, do it for you without a doubt. But yeah, some of the most successful women I've spoken to, the thing that really successful and stylish, I should say, stylish and what's true to them, what they're all really good at, and what stylish people generally are really good at, is they're very good at being mindful of what energy they are bringing to the room. Who are they turning up as? And it's not a false them, it's still a version of them, it's still part of them. We've all got lots of different parts of us inside. But yeah, being mindful of, am I bringing sexy Loulou, sassy Loulou, powerful, you know, slightly more feminine, playful, you know, they're all there. And actually we can use those adjectives to go, right, how do I want to feel in my clothes today? You know, I want to feel a bit playful. You're going to get a very different result to I want to be sexy.
Yeah, and that's so important to dating and relationships. You know, from that moment that you choose that person that you actually want to start a relationship with, and we've heard it time and time again, where people speak about, oh, well, you know, we've been together for a long time. It's just kind of, it's just the way things are between us. You know, it's not, we're not in the honeymoon phase anymore. But through our clothing, through our persona, through who we are, we have that opportunity to consistently kind of switch through those different aspects of who we are. So yeah, we're bringing sexy to the table. Yeah, we're bringing, you know, that more soft and feminine part of us to the table, or we're bringing that real powerhouse, whatever it is. And those are the things, those are the sort of energies that help keep that freshness, that aliveness in our relationships that I think is really important. So yeah, 100%.
Into some
say that again.
Shall we translate it into some clothes?
Absolutely. That, yeah, we're reading each other's minds here.
Right.
I think, yeah, 100%. Let's start to look and dive into that rail there, because I'd love for us to begin with exploring video dates, right? We're in lockdown.
Yeah.
A lot of this is going to be happening for people. I actually know someone who is on a video date right now. So yes, exactly. And I know she's dressed up for it. They're really making an effort for each other, which is really wonderful. So let's explore some of that together. Let's see what kind of video friendly date outfits we can find. And what I do want to say is that, you know, I'm seeing people join our live. So if you do have any questions for Loulou, please just press on that question mark button, and you can type in your question there. We can bring it up so that other people can see it as well. So do send your questions through. We'd absolutely love
and no
to.
question is stupid, because often if you're thinking it, then someone else is thinking it too.
100%. Yeah, chances are we're all thinking some version of it, right? So yeah, absolutely. So what have you got to share with us here tonight?
Well, it's interesting that we both got the printed top on. Can you, I don't know, can you, how much of me can you see? I'm quite small in my
yeah, maybe if you go back a little bit. Oh yes,
a little pajama top. It's been one of the most useful purchases, and I think for me, when I wear this, because it's like silky and satiny, I feel quite, I wouldn't say sexy, but I definitely feel a bit sassy in it.
Yeah, there's that sensual aspect to it, right?
Well, being really mindful, I mean, this is just generally in our wardrobes, and something to be mindful of as we get older and things like perimenopause and menopause happen. You know, how fabrics feel against our skin matters. You know, start being aware of what feels good to you and what doesn't, because that can often really guide us and help us with what to wear. But yeah, I think we all nowadays need a kind of Zoom, or should we say dating video top in our wardrobe, and in a color and a print that you feel really at home in, that is either a color that is, you know, just lights your skin up. So even if you didn't have makeup on, it would really, you know, you would look in the mirror and you would look fresh faced. And if you're not sure about colors, I have got in my highlights on my Instagram, I have got a how-to color one. So do go and check that out if you want to find out a bit more about what colors you are. But yeah, so I think having a top like that you can have that looks great against your face. I also think, you know, just even have a look at kind of things like, can you layer up some of your necklaces and chains, you know, just something really simple that doesn't look, it's kind of like everyone wants to have a bit of that effortless feel. You know, you want to look like you've cared, but not cared too much. Yeah, this was me all day, you know.
Exactly. This is how I roll.
So it's often about creating the balance in our outfitting and being careful not to just add more. So if you feel like your top is already quite a statement, unless your style is very dramatic and you like more, and that is you. But it's often, if you have a think, if it feels too much, then ask yourself what needs to be pared back. So for instance, tonight, you know, I had this top on, I had the layered necklace. Now, I could have easily then gone, and I might still do it. I was thinking I might change things up halfway through the
Nice.
You could, I'm not saying doing this for the dating, but have a think. You don't necessarily have to put lipstick on if you're feeling that the top is already quite bold. So just be mindful about how you create that balance. And when I'm styling, it is often for clients, it's those tiny little tweaks. So, you know, if I was to take off these earrings and put on a bigger pair, does it then start to feel too much and too big? So I did, where did I put them? I'm sure I got some earrings through. This is one of and Artie, I know you'll probably know her. Oh no, that's not it. No, that's my daughter's Frozen hair clip.
Love that. This is real life, people. This is real life.
Where did I put them in here? Oh well. Anyway, I don't know if I did. So I had one of my favorite. Let's just check these pockets. One of my favorite earring designers is a lady called Hattie Buzzard. And I do talk about her quite a lot on my feed. Oh, that's going to annoy me. Oh, I know one more place. Let me just check in here. Yes. Okay. You know, I'd taken this off because it was the one hanger. I had to have it was the same. I managed to change. Okay, so talking about balance and trying to find outfits. Here we go. So for me, right now, I think I could probably, and I want you to think of it, the way I always describe it is like a cordial. So you've got your cordial, your strong item in your wardrobe, that statement piece that you're putting on, and you're then going to fill it up with water. Now, you might be in the mood for a slightly stronger tasting drink. We could just also do alcohol, whatever you're full of, whatever. Yeah. You know, you're a stronger tasting drink, something with more punch. Now, for me, I could definitely do more punch with adding that pop of lipstick, and I would feel, this is my favorite hot pink called Flat Out Fabulous. You see that?
Nice. Yeah, it's not very clear. What's the brand?
MAC.
Cool.
Flat Out Fabulous. And I got it, Ivy.
Yeah. Always have to check for that.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Check. Make sure you check. So that for me still feels like me. Now, I could then, if I'm wanting to be a bit more playful, pick out polka dots and the.
Can you bring your head down a little bit? Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Oh, very cute.
This was from Anthropology. So I'm then adding in that cuteness.
That's really cute. It really softens it, but it's still statement.
Yes.
Well.
Now, if I was then to start adding this on, it's too... It throws things off. And I think that's what you have to be careful with when you're doing something special. Often we can want to throw everything at it. And again, using the cooking analogy, you know, it doesn't work if you're literally putting in, you know, 3 different types of chilies and, you know, loads of pepper. You've got to balance it out. It probably needs a little squeeze of lemon juice. It needs a little bit of salt. You just got to get the balance. So have a think about that when you're getting dressed. And actually, potentially, is it that you've maybe had a really colourful, bold top that you've been putting on, and you've been putting on a full like face of makeup, and actually all it needed is for you to maybe tone down the eyes and just do that little touch of lipstick. I'm really conscious about my teeth now.
It's cool. I can't see any.
Right. It's like, it's one of those things. I'm just like, my stepbrother always says to me, how is it that my mum always has lipstick on her teeth? How is it that you've been telling your mother for so long, get that lipstick off, and you still manage it? So what I would then say is, if you want to be more playful with your style, and use your wardrobe, because it's the other thing we're saying, you know, at the moment, and I'm doing a maximize your style month, maximize your wardrobe. So every Friday, sorry, at 12:30, people can come on live onto my Instagram, and we're doing free coaching for
amazing.
See what they've got in their wardrobe that they're not wearing. But you know, something like a really statement earring like that actually needs to be with. This is how you could make your hoodie. So this is a lovely new hoodie I've just got from Sweaty Betty.
Nice.
And you can see.
Oh, so just down a bit.
Lovely structure to it. So if you wanted to keep things a bit more casual, but this is where you could look like you actually, you know, you still care and you're expressing some of you, that's where you then balance it and dress it up. So this is the water, this is your cordial, and this is where you're strengthening that look. And that's probably, you could also take a lipstick, and it can maybe take the headband as well. But
yeah, that's really great for something like a Sunday afternoon day, or maybe, you know, second, third, fourth date with someone where you're doing something a bit more relaxed. Maybe you're playing a game together online or something, or watching a film together, streaming it at the same time, or wherever it is, right? But you still made a bit of an effort there.
I feel like I need to do this with my husband. I mean, obviously, you know, just I could be in one room pretending we're, you know.
Well, my philosophy with real estate dating is, even if you're in a relationship, a well-established one, never stop dating. Never stop dating.
Great advice. It's great. Really great. So obviously another thing with something like a powerful earring like that is just putting a really, you know, a lovely, fresh, basic t-shirt with it. And you could really just have that, you know, a color next to your skin that just is your favorite color, a color that just makes things pop for you. And when you have, you know, these powerful kind of earrings, we often make them the afterthought, and that's when the outfit feels too much. But create the outfit around the accessory.
Love that.
Use the accessory first. And I think at the moment, if you're doing video dating, or anything Zoom like, you know, we are just here, so focus the attention there as well.
Yes.
T-shirts I love. I mean, these are kind of this t-shirt, sorry, is Cause, but I do love Ivy T, which I talk about a lot, and she does give my followers a 15% discount if you put Loulou LOU 15 in at the checkout, and they're the most beautiful t-shirts, incredibly priced, so I would definitely recommend them if you are looking for basics.
Nice. I like that.
Another thing to consider is a simple scarf, you know, and nothing too heavy, because obviously if you're inside, you don't want to look like you're overdressed either.
And start sweating in the middle of the day.
Exactly, but you know, just, and you know what, you can do so much with something like this. You can wrap it around your wrist and create a little bracelet. So when you're talking, you've just got that little flash of color and interest. And you know, red is a good little fiery color, but it's not being, you know, just having a touch of it in a scarf or in a lipstick. isn't going to be too overpowering. Rather, you know, if you're wearing a whole red outfit, it's going to be very much, I'm here.
Yes.
You know, these touches color can really signal something that people, you know, you're not saying obviously.
It's like a flirt. A little
Yeah, a little flirt, exactly. That's, you know, I think that's a really interesting point. You know, often we have to be super comfortable in our skin to do that flirting, don't we? And I was thinking about, you know, also things like I mean, I've had this years and it was not very expensive and it's done me so well. But this is just a monkey, M-O-N-K-I jumpsuit.
Yes.
And, you know, something like that again has got interest in the product, but I feel so comfortable in it. I feel like it's a pair of pajamas when I'm wearing it. And, you know, I think having something like that in your wardrobe can be a really useful one for throwing on like that. It's that piece that always works hard, that, oh, what am I going to wear? And you just grab it and it just works.
Yeah, I've actually got some jumpsuits here, actually, a little bit more down the sort of, I guess, dressier route. But the one that I've got here, let me see if I can show you. It's an ASOS one.
Oh, beautiful.
I bought it for a birthday party a couple of years ago, and I absolutely love it because I think lace, you know, is such a great option for a date, because it's that is again that flirt, right, with that little bit of skin, but you're still feeling covered and comfortable. And it's a back, lace is all back at the back as well, but it's really comfortable. It's really wide leg and it's got splits down there, which is really, really lovely. So that is one that I think, you know, when we spoke about things that aren't getting worn in our wardrobes at the moment, this is just something that is one of my favorites, absolute favorite.
Do you ever layer it with like a little, I don't know, cute with a black and white stripe or a polka dot?
I've not yet, but I could try.
Try. See what sleeve tops you can put underneath, because, you know, you might find that actually it just makes it feel not like, you know, just a bit more relaxed as well. I think that's the important thing right now, is see what's in there that's feeling too dressed up.
Yes.
And you dress it down. And having fun with it in that way, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. As we said at the start, right? It's the time to really experiment and play, and you can really, really go to town with that, right? Just the craziest combinations that you'd never thought of, but hey, why not?
Yeah, definitely. And it did also make me think, and you have to excuse, I've got these, I need to get a new one of this. It's got little marks on it that I can't get off at the moment. But like having these lovely little cardigans, you know, doing something like that, the stories one, but maybe just doing it with some like sexy bra underneath and doing the buttons up.
Yeah, a little bit of low. Yeah, absolutely.
Really lovely. You kind of got that comfy granniness, but you've still, you know, you've still got a little bit of that lace underneath.
Sexy and then, granny.
Little silk
that's beautiful.
Are just wonderful underneath, you know?
Yeah.
They can add that little bit of and it's not always about leading with saucy or sexy, but there's a sensuality, there's a femininity.
That one.
You can tell I've been working since 7.
Don't worry, I feel you.
I think, yeah, it's crazy times. Anyway, but seeing something, and I love, you know, pink and red is, I mean, it's my colors. I just love, don't be afraid to put your pinks and reds together.
Okay, yeah, not really. I don't think I've ever experimented with that before.
Yeah, I mean, those earrings.
That's very true. Yeah, I think I've always thought of it as the sort of poppier reds and the really bold pinks, but actually that subtle combination that you just showed there with the subtle cardigan, but the really vibrant cami, really beautiful, really, really beautiful.
And this pale pink is in neutral, you know. It really is most pale pinks are neutral. They're so useful. They're so useful. And then another thought I had for everyone was like, do people have, you know, Christmas jumpers and sparkles that you know, that could get away with not being Christmassy? And this is snowball.
Oh, that's so cool.
Covered in sequins, but you know, that again, it's super comfortable. I could then pair it with some silky, I have got the matching bottom half to these.
Love it.
Like little silky pajama bottoms. But you know, when you do something like that, you're gonna feel like you're in your PJs, but look so glamorous.
Yeah, that's a great movie night one, I think.
Yeah.
Get the popcorn out.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's also a really, you know, when people are doing, when we're saying about the different kind of dates that they're having, even if it's all within their home, it's still a different energy you're bringing.
Mm,
Be really mindful of that. Be really mindful of what energy do I want to bring to this date.
yeah.
Um, because it'll always be an authentic part of you, always be your version. But it's really helped me, and it helps my clients to navigate how should I choose my clothes?
Mm,
How do I want to feel in my clothes? And actually, those trousers make me feel, you know, relaxed but polished.
mm,
If you can start honing into the words that matter to you, it really helps. And I call them your anchor words.
mm,
And if you can start finding your anchor words, you know, how do you want people to describe your style is a great question to ask yourself. How do I want to feel? What do I want to feel more? What do I crave? When I look at somebody and I think, oh, they've got great style. What is it that about them? Is it they look cool? Is it that they just look chic? Is it elegant? Is it a bit opulent? Is it you know, more rebellious than you are? What is it that they're doing that you crave? And that'll often tap into the word that you need more in your life.
mm. I love that. I love that. Anchor words. That's brilliant. That's
Yes.
definitely one that's really worth exploring and would be so much fun, I think, to experiment with, just to find out what the translation of that is into your wardrobe as well.
Yeah. Well, end of this month, I'm very excited to say we're going to be having my first ever like workshop that will be always up on my website to sell.
Ah, brilliant.
One that, and it's going to be all about how to find your style, and the anchor word thing is in that. So
Love it. Awesome.
yes.
Awesome. Fantastic. So I did have a question for you actually, Loulou.
Yes,
What are your thoughts on blazers for Zoom dates?
I would say it's all about the fabric. So
Mm.
you want to still keep the fabric fairly relaxed,
Mm.
and maybe look at a kind of knitted style. I saw a really cute one actually. I was doing client search today, and I'm sure it was in the M&S sale. It was a little leopard print knitted jacket. So you can get some really lovely soft jerseys. So I'd be really aware of the fabric and how you sit and how you hold yourself in it. You don't want to be feeling too stiff in it. What could be, but this might be a bit too something from a movie. I don't know if you were sat with it kind of draped on your shoulders just for warmth.
Yes, that is an absolute winner, right? Going out with, like obviously pre-pandemic with, you know, if you've got like a leather jacket or a blazer or whatever, just draped on your shoulders, just transforms an outfit from, yeah, to chic.
Yeah, and takes away the formality. Like this bit more, yeah. But I think
movement.
I think at home it would have to be all about the fabric. You know, it'd have to be something that's fairly soft, you know, something that is quite relaxed, and then you would definitely, I think it would be great.
Yeah, because I'm 100% a blazer person. I wear a blazer a lot. So I brought down my quite bright blazer.
Ooh, see, that's a nice lightweight fabric.
Yes, very lightweight. And also it's got a bit of ruching on the 3/4 length arm. So it's a bit more casual, I would say, than like a traditional, very structured blazer. So I brought this down as I think the pop of color again just livens things up, as you said, that what highlights our skin tone without us having to put tons of makeup on.
Yes.
Wow.
Right? Yeah.
So,
it's great.
I thought I'd bring that down.
I'm mindful of that when you're building your wardrobe. Often people just, for some reason, don't buy their favorite colors. At one stage, I remember looking in the wardrobe and going, I love red and I own nothing that's red. What? Okay, I need to sort this out. So have a look in your wardrobe. And I always say, put your wardrobe in color order when you're first getting to know it and see what's in there. And if your wardrobe, and see which colors you'll repeat buying. It's a great way of seeing. But anyway, I digress from the dating. So
no, but that's really important. I think that's one of the things as well, like when you're trying to, it's the trap, I think, of a capsule wardrobe sometimes, is you think, okay, I want to be minimalist, I want to be able to use as much as I possibly can, so it starts to veer towards quite a plain, neutral based set of clothing. And I found myself going in that direction, and I was like, hang on a minute, this isn't me. I should really revert.
Yeah, and there's a lot. I mean, I love doing a little bit of that Scandi style, the minimalist. I definitely have this part of me that is that. But we always have two sides.
Yes.
We're very rarely just one-sided when it comes to our style. So getting to, I'm afraid it gets more complicated, but it is about getting to know our different.
It's true.
Let's not freak people out yet.
Yeah, exactly. No. We've got this under control. Stick with us. Awesome, awesome. So one other area that I wanted us to cover together is one area of work that I really help my clients with is their dating profiles, right? How to have a profile that stands out for all the right reasons, right? Because I do a lot of reconnaissance work and I look at people's profiles out there. I help my clients critique their dating profiles and really actually have them be a true reflection of who they are, what they want, what type of relationships they want to create. And usually there's a set of photos that just aren't doing them any justice at all. So I really advise my clients to, even at a time like this, get yourself, most phones now have a timer setting, or just get yourself a cheap Bluetooth remote.
Yeah.
Go out into your local park, your garden, wherever it is that you love to hang out, that you still have access to. Put on some of your favorite clothes and colors and get snapping away. So what kind of recommendations would you have for people that are at present having to take some of their profile photos there for themselves, that can have them standing out on their profile, as I said, for all the right reasons?
There's no doubt. I think print and color is a really great place to start. If you're going for a classic, then I would say make sure your hair is looking its best and your makeup is looking flawless. You very rarely, the women that look phenomenal in very pared back clothes are often very good at doing their makeup and very hair. So that's how they can get away with it looking so simple.
It's like that Parisian chic, right? As you showed that wonderful white t-shirt and red scarf combination, automatically made me think of that. Yeah, Parisian chic, that French woman style, and there's not a lot going on there, but it stands out. Really does.
Everything is just in the right place. I mean, that was definitely when I was in Paris with my clients. You could just see that everything was just still all very considered. But I think, do you know what I would say? Maybe this is less about the clothes, but more about somebody who's had to get used to being on camera a lot. And I'm really not a big fan of having my photo taken, but I've had to become more comfortable with it. Is have somebody in your mind or in your heart, like whether that is a future person that you want to meet, or whether that is, like your dearest best friend, and pretend that she or he is behind the camera or sat next to you. Like, have them in your mind, because I think it's often about that emotion that we convey in our face and what we're thinking about. And when I get stuck, and this is also true when I'm kind of presenting and even sharing ideas, if I just get a client in my mind, or like my husband or somebody that matters to me in my head and in my mind, suddenly my presentation can change, my posture changes, how comfortable I feel in my skin, all of that changes just because, I'm not having to put my defenses up. So, plan the outfit, think about where things, like what flatters you, have a look in the mirror. Do you look better when things are quite nice and high up? Do you look better with, a crew neck? Like, that's not as great for me as either the high, or do you suit, having something lower and showing off a bit of skin here? Be mindful of neckline, also your position. If you're conscious of your arms, don't be pulling your arms across. One thing I do on my Instagram is I'll save pose, like people that how they've held themselves, and I've got a whole folder of pose inspiration. Have a look. Be moving as you're taking a picture. Don't be static, and you'll find that you'll capture good ones. So
100%. Brilliant, brilliant advice. And another one that a lot of people tend to forget when they're taking photos, but also really important for Zoom dates as well, is the breath. Like, keep breathing as well, because it's so often that when we're feeling a bit nervous, feeling a bit stressed, or just outside of our comfort zone in the sense that
Yeah.
we're doing something a bit different, we have a tendency to hold our breath and be
Yeah.
clenched in that way. And that totally transforms the
Yeah.
way that we carry ourselves, our silhouette, and everything, right? So just that taking those deep breaths and having that moment just to let that softness run through your body.
And set that intention. It's the same, you know, with dressing. When you approach your wardrobe, you know, set the intention of, rather than I've got nothing to wear, set the intention of, what can I find in here today? And it's a very different energy that you take to it. It's the same with the dating, you know. Don't put the pressure on the end result. It's just like, what can I find out about that person? What, you know, let's see what's available.
Yeah, I think one thing I really share with my clients about how to date fearlessly is become supremely curious. Like, become supremely curious about yourself, about the person that you're dating, the connection that you're creating together. But as we think about what we're discussing here today, become supremely curious about your wardrobe and your style.
Yes, because it's all part of you, and I think that is just glorious. And it changes you from being, if you're somebody that naturally falls into that critical place, or, you know, even defensive or resistant, it gets rid of that. Because again, it's like, okay, so I can't maybe wear that, but what can I wear? You know, what is out there for me? Because there is clothes for everyone. And I think one of the biggest healing tools that I've had is being able to dress so many different figures. And this is, I get sometimes a bit frustrated, and I'm currently developing a new way of teaching body shape, but it might be, you know, it's going to be one of those things that I think will be, you know, a few years in the making. But, you know, I get frustrated that it's taught with like 5, sometimes 12 different body types. And I'm just like, I don't think I've ever seen 2 bodies that are the same.
Not at all.
So it's so individual that, you know, there's principles there is no doubt, but get to know each little bit of you, and you know, highlight the bits you love and work out, you know, necklines, what works for you, especially this bit at the moment, you know, necklines, shoulders, your colors, focus on those things at the moment.
Brilliant. Awesome.
One other bit I do for you that I just wanted to shout out that I've been loving is I've been doing quite a lot of renting. With a company called On Loan, and there's so many rental agencies out there. This is a beautiful blouse by Shrimps. It's like a heavy, it's a heavy kind of cotton, but it's almost like a very light, thin corduroy, like a brushed cotton. And beautiful collar, lovely animal print. But, you know, this would retail at probably, like, I think it was about £300. And I think my package was like £100 for 4 items a month. And it just means, again, if you want to kind of, you know, change your energy, try something new, have a look at all the different rental agencies that are around at the moment. And, you know, that could be a really fun way of exploring.
I love that. More ways of being able to experiment, because you've just then essentially got access to someone else's wardrobe, right? In that moment, which is very, very cool. And we'll keep pressing the fact that now more than ever is such a brilliant time to experiment in that way. But that leads me on to the question of, because obviously right now budgets for a lot of us are tighter than normal. We're being squeezed in terms of how far our money goes. So if we want to, what are your tips around sprucing up our wardrobes without splashing out?
Well, I would say book yourself in for a power hour with me. Goes without saying. I created the power hour when I ran my courses. So I ran 3 courses last year. I took 70 women through my different courses that I ran online. And we created the power hour. So it's an hour with me where we can really just sort out some great new outfits for you. We can get you clear on what suits you and get you a little mini strategy for how to move your style forward. I think I said that the discount code was STYLE.
Yes, you did. Yes.
And the link is in my bio. So it takes it down to £99. So that's a great way. So then you don't make any mistakes and you don't waste your money.
And you're getting that guidance, that real guidance of someone who knows how to look at your body, look at your wardrobe, and bring the 2 things together.
Yes, exactly. So do that, and do, you know, obviously sign up to my mailing list, and you'll find out about the courses and everything. There's lots coming this year. So excited to share all that. The other thing I would say is move your wardrobe around. So, you know, we're saying about putting it in color order. Sometimes you just need to approach it differently, and you're not going to see the same thing by looking at the same thing. So take it out, if you can, or take out a section, and then just put it back in. So you can do light to dark, or you can choose the colors of the rainbow, depending on what you own, and you'll see things in a new light. And just, again, like, be curious. How do I style this one item? Let's give this a try and have a play with it.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I have actually got something that's really helped me with this, being more creative with my wardrobe as well, is that I got this style app called, oh, what is it? I'll find out. I'll make sure. It's like Style, oh, I don't know, Style Closet or something like that. And it's essentially your wardrobe on an app.
Is it
Oh, I don't think a Style something. Oh, so
okay.
I should have checked that before I came on the live. But it's such a brilliant way. You can have all of your clothes. You just take a picture of them, or if you're buying clothes online, then you can just download that picture and use it there. And you can create outfits. You can create looks on there without even having to break a sweat and put anything on. And for me, it's been really helpful in just getting way more creative with my style, getting way more creative. So there's another option. It's literally a couple of pence or pounds for this app, and it opens up your wardrobe massively.
That is so cool. People are so clever. That is such a great idea.
Right?
Definitely.
100%. So I'm aware of the time, and I want to make sure that I'm able to download this and upload it to my channel. So in terms of, let's just touch on, because I mean, we are in lockdown now, so the amount of dates happening out there are few and far between, unless we're in social bubbles together, right? But it would be great just to touch on actually a question that came through about socially distanced dates, and we're in the middle of winter right now. But how do you stay warm and look stylish when you're doing a socially distanced date out there in the January cold?
So there's a few things. I would say, where you can, invest in a little bit of cashmere. And if it is above your price point, look at things like Thrift Plus. Obviously, charity shops, when we're back up and running, have a look on things like the Outnet, which is Net-a-Porter's outlet site. Jigsaw have got an amazing outlet going at the moment, and this is a Jigsaw cashmere jumper. Cashmere is 40% warmer than wool. Your standard wool, so it's lovely. It's also very good at skin regulating, so heat regulating, so for the warmth as well. So I would say making sure that you have a look at that, and you know, it's things like I've got some great cashmere mitts, which are from a company called Turtle Doves, which is all recycled cashmere. You know, that kind of thing. Just making sure you've got the layers, like having a good your chest is a like, to keep warm. So, you know, nice little thin jersey kind of roll necks that you can layer under your clothes. Coats, you know, having one that really flatters, again, your figure. So whether that has a nice shape or has a real color that you love, don't be afraid of color in a coat. People just think they black or navy or maybe camel for it to be useful. But honestly, I have got a bright red down coat, and it goes with everything in my wardrobe. If you're buying in a color that sits in your palette, a colored coat will go with everything.
I love that. Yeah, because it's something that so many people shy away from, because we've become sort of accustomed to believing that, yeah, the black, the white, the grey, the camel goes with everything. It's that the neutral kind of danger zone.
Just those colors, and don't be afraid of a thermal. Like
yes, 100%. 100%. I'm all about thermals. I've got a few there locked away in my wardrobe. It's brilliant. So this has been so fantastic, and I think it's been so helpful, and I hope everyone that's joined us, I saw a lot of waves coming through and people popping in to see us and join us. I hope this has been useful for all of you who have been watching along with us. I'm going to try my best to get this uploaded as soon as possible to my channel, and I'll share it with you, Loulou, as well, so that people can watch this back and have a look at your outfits with more detail as well. Make notes of all the wonderful things that you've shared with us here today. What I think just to sort of wrap things up, I think one thing that we really share is, and we've explored here today, is the importance of dressing for ourselves first and foremost. And so have you got any sort of final words around how that is so important, especially now more than ever?
Yeah, just it's not frivolous. Give yourself full permission to have fun with it, and to really start asking yourself, what do I love? What do I suit? And just go from there. Go from that positive place.
Yeah, brilliant. And as you have shared, there's the power hours that you're sharing with everyone here today. There's a brilliant discount. So it's £99 down from what is the original
I,
price?
we're normally, it's about 149.
Brilliant. So a fab discount there, and that's linked in your bio, and I'm also going to link it in the comments as
Thank
well.
you.
And put the code STYLE there for everyone to use to get that power hour booked in with you, so that you don't have to splurge on a brand new wardrobe, right? You can dive into that wardrobe with them. You can have a look at what can help them really nail Zoom dating, and then in a, you know, hopefully not so long from now, socially distance dating, if that's how we have to ease ourselves into it. But I think it'd be wonderful actually once the world starts to open up a little bit more, for us to maybe get together and do this again, when we look at those socially distanced date outfits as well, and just as the seasons will be changing then as well, so the transitionary wardrobe to look at. But this has been absolutely fantastic.
So much fun, and congratulations on all your work at being a love guru and bringing together so many people. It's just you know, we need more love in the world right now, so congratulations on all you've been.
Thank you so much, and the same to you with your work. I know how much transforming my wardrobe has brought to my life and my ability to be more visible in the world for all the right reasons. And it's just such an exciting way to express who we are, to communicate who we are. And fearless dating is all about communicating who we are, what we want, the type of people that we want to be with, and making that as easy as possible for our dates to see and learn as well. And the wardrobe is such a great way to be able to do that. As we said earlier, that vehicle, one of those vehicles for creating the most beautiful relationship with yourself and with whoever you go on to date and meet and connect with as well. So thank you so much for sharing with me here today.
Thanks, Bertie.
So good. Yes, you take care, and we'll speak soon.
Bye.
Thank you everyone for joining. Bye.